All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to tackle a really important question. How do organizations actually choose the right contractor for a big, critical project? We're going to break down the whole formal process of tender evaluation and awarding the contract, and we'll be looking at it through the lens of safety. Because, making the safe choice starts long before anyone even steps foot on a work site.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When the stakes are super high and you've got safety and the success of the project on the line, how do you really pick the best team for the job? Is it just the one with the slickest presentation, the absolute cheapest bid, or maybe the company you've worked with a bunch of times before? It's a massive, massive decision.
And here's the thing. The answer is, it's not really any of those things on their own. The best, most reliable decisions, well, they aren't based on a gut feeling. They come from a formal, systematic method that's designed to take bias out of the equation, cut down on risk, and find the absolute best fit for the project.
Okay, so let's set the stage. Before we jump into the how of it all, we've got to be really clear on the what.
At its heart, tender evaluation is a systematic process. Those are the magic words right there. It's not about feelings, it's a structured way of looking at every single proposal and judging them all against the same set of rules. This makes sure you're not just picking any contractor, you're picking the most competent and suitable one you can find.
Now this is a huge point. There's this common myth that the lowest price always wins, right? Well, in a professional world, especially when safety is involved, the real goal is to get the best value. And value is this careful balancing act between cost, quality, experience, and, of course, safety. It's all about minimizing the risk to your people, to your project, and to your company's reputation.
So, how does this actually work in the real world? How do you go from a whole stack of proposals down to just one? Let's get into the methodology and see how they build a clear, objective picture.
A lot of the time, it's set up as a gated process. Think of it like a series of checkpoints or locked doors. First up is the compliance check. Does the bidder meet all the basic, non-negotiable requirements? If they don't, they're out. Simple as that. If they pass, they move to the next gate, the technical review. Okay, so can they actually do the job to the right standard? And if they clear that hurdle, they finally get to the commercial assessment, which is where price gets looked at. You've got to pass through every single gate to stay in the running.
And this is how those decisions are kept objective. They use a scoring matrix, kind of like a report card. And just look at this example. The OSH safety record is weighted at 35%. That's the biggest piece of the pie by far. That sends a really loud and clear message, doesn't it? It says safety is our #1 priority here. Price is important, sure, but at 20%, it's not the only thing that matters. Each proposal gets a score, and in the end, the numbers pretty much tell the whole story.
Okay, so the numbers have been crunched and a winner has been chosen. But we're not quite done yet. Now, it's time to move from just assessing things to taking action, turning that decision into a real formal agreement.
This is the final leg of the journey. The evaluation team makes their formal recommendation. Then there's usually a bit of back and forth, negotiating some details, clarifying a few points to get everything just right. And then comes the big moment, the formal notification. One company gets a letter of award and, well, the others get the thanks but no thanks letters. It's all about keeping communication clear and documented.
And that brings us to the tender award itself. Now, this isn't just some handshake deal. It is the formal, written acceptance that turns a simple proposal into a legally binding contract. This is the official starting pistol for the whole partnership.
So, we've walked through the what and the how. Now let's zoom out and connect the dots. Why is following a structured approach like this so incredibly important for any big project? This process isn't just bureaucracy for the sake of it. It makes sure everything is fair, giving every single bidder an equal shot. It helps you find and deal with risks before they become huge, expensive problems on the job site. It helps you get the best overall value, not just the cheapest price. And this is a big one. It creates a paper trail you can follow. So if anything ever goes wrong, you can defend exactly why you chose the partner you did.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. This one single structured process is the most effective tool a company has to start a complex project off on the right foot. It ensures the whole thing is built on a solid foundation of competence, value, and most importantly, safety.
But of course, choosing the right partner, that's really just the beginning, isn't it? Having a perfect process on paper is one thing, but the real test always starts when the work begins. So, the question to leave you with is, what happens when all those carefully made plans crash into the messy, chaotic reality of an active work site?
We'll leave you to think about that one.